And take that naughty word right out, right? Okay, so another one we saw at market was the Splendid Sampler 2. Kay did the Splendid Sampler 1, and if you haven't seen it, it is fabulous.
Beautiful.
She did an amazing
I
job
got it
with it.
finished, but it's at the quilter, and she's still trying to figure out how to quilt it.
Beautiful.
So when she gets it back, you're going to have to coax her in to bring it in because it is absolutely amazing. And Splendid Sampler 2 came out, and you don't have to do every block in here. As a matter of fact, it'd be like, whoo, if you did. But you could do less of them. You could only pick the ones that are pieced if you don't like applique, or you could only pick the applique if you like applique. But all these different people from all over the world have contributed, and it's a fabulous quilt. And so I sat in a session in a room about this size, I guess, maybe just a little bit bigger, that was lined with chairs and rows, and it was standing room only around the walls for all the people that were interested in doing this. And they had made up smaller ones with only picking a few, and larger ones, and did them in different colorways, and it was amazing to see what they are. It's, again, not for the faint of heart. It's like the 365 or something like that, you know, because it does, if you're going to take it on, like, fully, you've got paper piecing, you got a lot, you have some of them in here that are pretty interesting, so.
And 6-inch squares.
Yes, and you could do it 6 or 12. Kay did hers in 6.
They didn't give us the option.
They didn't give me that option then, okay. But hers is, how long did it take you, Kay? 2 years?
A year and a half.
A year and a half. And, but it's a fabulous quilt. So, another book, of course, is Bonnie Hunter's String Frenzy. We're seeing the string quilting. It's popular this year again. You know, it's been, I think, before, but we saw some of that in Houston. And she's got a book out, and she's been selling it like crazy. I saw a picture on her blog where she was standing with 4,000 books, and she was selling out, like the first day that she put it up, she sold 500. She only put a lot of 500. She sold them out in 3 hours. So it's a really, really hot topic again this year. And that was all the books we brought, things that we saw there. So patterns, we saw blocks of the month. I can't tell you how many blocks of the month I saw down there. So if you like blocks of the month and everything you can think of, Civil War, different things. Modern is very popular this year. We saw a lot of modern quilts down there this year at market. Tula Pink was very popular, and I think she was at least in every aisle in somebody's booth, if she wasn't in more than that. One of them, what is, again, to be popular is the Creative Grids Rulers. Deanna uses them. Y'all know I run around like a chicken with my head cut off, so I don't get a chance to play with the tools as often. But she loves them, and everybody that we've recommended them to, whatever it is, we've only had positive feedback. So if any of y'all use the Creative Grids Rulers of any kind,
Pretty.
they have square and square, they have strippy star tool. Lisa could not get her flying geese right, and she's using the flying geese tool and makes them perfect every time now. But this is Krista Moser. She's done this pattern called Fanfare. It's a hot pattern right now. There are shops doing classes. We're doing it as a block of the month. Shops are doing it as a block of the month as well. Deanna's starting it when, Deanna?
This week.
This week. Starting this week. And
I got the first 2 blocks.
and as you can see, it's a variety of colors. It has a lot of real estate, so it has a lot of solids, which is that modern look. And it's fun, and it's playing with this ruler right here. So if you're interested, you can come by and check it out, or let Deanna know you want to sign up for the class. So did you want to add anything to that?
She's got, and some people on Creative Grids, I truly love them. They're very accurate. They also have on the back here a special adhesive, so they are very difficult to move. So it does help you get a more accurate cut here. Some people have said, well, I don't like all of the extra stuff I cut off. She is so awesome because obviously she heard on her blog this past week, she said, well, this is what I did with what I cut off from these blocks here. So she's creating patterns that use up what you cut off. So that way the waste does not go to waste. And she's so cute and so energetic. And she said, when I sat in with her on a class, she said, well, I've been quilting for 20 years and here, we're all of a certain age and we're sitting there going, you started when you were a toddler. And she goes, no, I'm 35. And we're going, yeah, well, let's go back to the toddler. But she's got the energy, she's got the motivation and the creativity. And that's what I like to see to keep this line moving forward.
Do you want to talk about it?
A couple of the others that we've picked up. Stripology is a fabulous tool to get those accurate strips and do those cross cuts. They've come out with their little Stripology Mini. And of course, they have books of patterns as well as cut loose patterns. Comes out, and those are single sheets. Another one that's been very creative, and we've dealt with this woman's patterns for a couple of years, Deb Heatherly. She has a quilt shop over on the East Coast called Deb's Cats and Quilts Designs, and she's done a number of our creative grid rulers. The most popular one she's come out with lately is the Cat's Cradle XL, and of course she's already created some of her patterns as well. If you sign up for Grids Girls on Facebook, she does mystery quilts about 2 to 3 times a year, and she is currently in the midst of one using the Cat's Cradle XL and Cat's Cradle, which is the smaller version. A lot of energy, very fun. The way their minds work when they're creating these rulers crack me up, because she talks about how she gets home, she has an idea, she tells her husband what she wants, he takes an acrylic, cuts what she wants, she takes a Sharpie, marks it on, sends it into Creative Grids, and they go, okay, we need the patterns, and it's done.
Wow.
So it's like, okay, I'm not quite there yet. But they have awesome tools that work well with just about any pattern, not just theirs.
Okay. And so with blocks of the month, again, lots of blocks of the month going out. If you like them, we have quite a few rolling out this year. For 3 Wishes, some of y'all bought the Sassy Animals panel, the Boho Owls, those kinds of things. 3 Wishes has got some brilliant fat panels and things. We've got 6 or 7 lines coming in from them this month. One of them is the mermaids. I know several people that are excited about that one. And so they have it's actually kind of interesting because everything is so bright right now. Y'all notice that? There's a lot of bright, vibrant digital, and we're seeing a lot of that, but they put out a block of the month that's called Farmhouse that's very muted and soft and very laid back. So you can look it up. It's 3 Wishes. It's Farmhouse. If you have a pen and you're making notes, their website is fabricedition.com, and you can find a lot of their free patterns on that site. Another one that we're going to do is the American Jane Sweet, what is the name of that?
Harmony.
Sweet Harmony, and it's a sampler type, but you know what American Jane looks like. It's the 30s, lots of yellows, and it's a really cool block of the month. It's carrying a lot of comments out there, and we think it's going to be really fun. We've ordered it. I think it rolls out in hopefully March. We're having some trouble with delay, and I think it has to do with imports and all the stuff in the government. So we are seeing a little bit of delay in some of our fabric lines. And we have a couple other blocks of the month rolling out. We have a Shabby Fabrics rolling out. It's a Shabby Fabrics. Where did we put it? Right in front of you.
No.
Right in front of you. You've seen the pillows before. They're really popular. Kimberville does them. Shabby Fabrics does them. This is a block of the month. This is January. It's rolling out next week, or February if you wanted to start February. And then there's a March, and you change your pillowcase on your big pillow every time. And we're going to kit these with a variety of the fabrics, so you don't have to buy a whole fat quarter or half yard or whatever. You only are getting those pieces you need and keeping the cost down. So if that's something that you're interested in, they're gonna run, I don't know, our blocks of the month, we try to keep them between 20 and 30. We've had a few that have crept up to 35 just because somebody loves their fabric a whole lot. Speaking of that, we've heard across the board, everybody is increasing their prices. So you may be seeing an increase in fabric prices at your favorite shops. We're gonna try to keep ours down. Moda did not increase their price at market, but we were told last week that they are increasing it after this week. So we don't know how much. Some places have been 5 or 10 cents, and some places have been 50 cents for $1 a yard. So we'll see. We have raised it a little bit on some lines just because they've raised it, but as long as they don't raise it, we're going to stay at our $9.99. So even if they raise it a dime, if we can stay, we'll stay. They've had a couple price increases in the last 5 years that we've been open, and we haven't changed. So, okay, so blocks of the month. Next, I'm going to talk about this. This is very cool. Stonehenge has been around for 10 years. They're celebrating their 10th year anniversary. So if you like the Stonehenge fabric, has anybody done a quilt solely out of Stonehenge only?
No, but I sure like the fabric.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is they're asking for anybody who's done a quilt out of this if they would be willing to submit it because they're going to do a show and they're going to do pictures and they're going to do all of that. So they're asking for that.
Wasn't that Stonehenge fabric she used with the, it looks kind of like those.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it again. I wasn't paying that close of attention. They've got some competitions this year, and they really want to roll it out big. So what they're doing is, the first one is a panel competition. Okay? And I am, I like panels. We have 140 of them for sale in the shop. But when I looked at this, it didn't appear, I didn't think, I want that right in the middle of my bed. Right? For me, it didn't. So it might for somebody else. But they did a display at market, and they did this with a variety of different looks, and oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So like you could cut it and shift it and make it like Bargello. You could make it into a window frame by putting, the window frame in there. Borders around it. It's absolutely gorgeous once it gets together. It's just fabulous. And the quilting fabric that's going to go with it is very Celtic. And you can see it has a lot of the designs that you would expect to see in that type of thing. And I'll pass it around. So these are the fabrics. And on here, they're also going to have an ombre that's part of the Stonehenge. It's coming in this month. And we also picked up a couple of the lighter colors as well. So I'll pass that around and let you look at it. And then let me tell you about the competition. Do you want to go ahead and do that?
So on the competition for the panel, what's going to be involved there, you're going to purchase your panel, and you have from now until from whenever we get it in, until the end of October, I believe, to create a quilt using this panel, an original quilt. Then you'll bring it into a participating store. And once we have them all together, I think it's the beginning of December, then there will be a judging between the quilts that are brought in. And then we submit the winner from our store to a national contest.
So it's November 30th is the deadline to submit it to us.
And the national contest winners, first place is a trip for two in June.
Are you doing a drum roll?
I'm sorry. June of 2020 to go to England and of course to see Stonehenge.
With a private tour and also of local museums and textiles.
Including the Victoria and Albert Museum, that you see a lot of fabrics being copied from that museum and put out. And then of course there's winning like $500 worth of Stonehenge fabric.
$1,000 worth is the second prize, and $500 is the third prize.
And I think they also give us something to give to our local winner.
Correct. Okay.
Whoops.
I don't remember, but if you said it, it must be true.
The other contest is along the lines of row by row. We're going to be designing a block out of the Stonehenge fabric, and starting in March, all of these blocks are going to be on their website. And you can travel around to the different stores and pick up the little kit and make the block and put together your quilt. Or if you see one that's, say, in Hawaii, and you just don't have the time to go to Hawaii this year, this is where it's different. You can give them a call and say, I want your kit, here's my credit card number, and they'll ship it.
So you don't have to actually go to the shop to get the block.
So if there's a particular pattern you see out there that you want, you can call and order it and have it shipped to you.
And it'll be in different sizes, 6 by 6, 12 by 6, 12 by 12, 18 by 18. And a shop can make more than one block, but there is only an official block that we have to submit. So when if you go, make sure you get the official block if you're gonna participate, okay?
And I think you have to have a quilt of 12 blocks.
Let me know.
I underlined it, and now I forget what I underlined. But then once more, you'll get that quilt put together and turn it in for that contest as well. And same day. And once more, the national winner, trip for two, June of 2020 to England. So Evelyn's already saying she's going.
I'm available.
She's
Yeah,
going.
and the second place is the $1,000 worth of Stonehenge fabric, plus second place prize, actually it's not fabric, it's $1,000 is the second place. But you also, for the block party, as well get a $250 fabric package. And for third place, it's $500 US, but you also get a $100 fabric package. So you get a little bit more bonus in that second and third place in this block party. Okay?
And for those of you who don't win, they are going to have a tour that you can sign on and pay your money to go on to in June of 2020. And it would include the same things as the winners as well. So you're going to see a lot dealing with Stonehenge coming out in the next couple of months.
Okay? So anyways, we picked up probably, a sampling. I'm, a small shop. I can't afford all of that at one time, but we do have a sampling of the colors, and we're adding them as we go, adding more and more, and they've been very, very popular. So they're great blenders, and they're great just on their own. Melody used it in her Bonnie Hunter. A number of ladies that we're doing the Bonnie Hunter with, excuse me? A number of the ladies that we're doing the Bonnie Hunter with have used it in their Bonnie Hunter quilts, so it's very popular.
Stonehenge, the shimmer. They have the shimmer line.
Not Stonehenge, it doesn't have, specifically, this is all of the whole line here. But they may take, I'm gonna go back on that and say, I have no idea. Okay? I can look it up. Because I'm familiar with this, but I haven't bought the shimmer, so I'm not sure who the maker is, or who the. It might be Northcott, yes. Yeah, it's Northcott, yeah. Yeah, it's Northcott as well. Okay, Wims has been around. Sheila pointed out she's seen it before, but just to let you know, watercolor quilts are still popular. We saw them. They're still a popular thing, and we're seeing people do them. Wims is a great one. They kit them. If you're interested in them, we have them. Okay, Westerly, for those of you that want to get into quilting on your machine and you want rulers, Westerly was really hot this year. I found them a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I could not get them. Even though there was a distributor, Checkers distributed them, when I would order them, I was having no success, and they didn't have a huge variety. You could only get like the starter kit. And I tried contacting them. Now they are distributing everywhere in the U.S. They're very popular. I had someone come in today and sign up for a class, as a matter of fact, in it. So it's still very, very popular. The Society tables are very popular. And so if it's something you're interested in, we are offering it at the shop. The Societies are custom made to your machine. And then the rulers, we are providing classes, or even possibly we're going to start a club where you can meet once a month and work on them and learn more about them. We got to meet Leonie West, who's the designer. I didn't even know how she designs. This is just a quarterly book, but the catalog, oh my gosh, she's probably got, this one doesn't have them in it, she probably has designed like 500 rulers. I mean, Martha uses her adjustable ones, and they've changed them. You know, they don't have the peg that sticks up anymore. You have to use a screwdriver to adjust it, or a little tool. And but they're fabulous. And we got to meet her. She came to our booth and hung out with us. Her and Janet Collins, and she's a really, really interesting lady. So fabulous designer. Okay, Hugs and Kisses. They're a company that is doing paper piecing. And the thing that they're doing, and several people are making it, but it's the applique paper that's iron-on, and it's water soluble. So you can, you can iron it in. You don't have to worry about removing it if you're doing English paper piecing or whatever you're doing. And then once you wash it, it's gone. And so she's pre-kitting in a lot of hers the pieces. You can buy them with the paper and then pull it out and use it over again. She's pre-kitting. What you do is you fold it over, iron the edge around. It's already there. Then you do your stitching, and then when you're done, you just wash it out and it's gone. Sweet. So it's really nice. And she offers a lot of stuff. I'll pass this around so you can look at it. She's doing these little frames and doing little hand stitching things in the little frames, which are really cute. And she does individual packets too, in your hexagons and different shapes and sizes.
And those are washable?
Yes, all washable. Do you want to?
So one of the most exciting things, we had a customer a year ago sitting in a class, and she was using a ruler. Shirley Rogers. And she said, Deanna, you've got to get these rulers. She said, but they don't go through a distributor. They go strictly from this one company. I'm going, okay. So we kind of, but this time when we went to market, Jackie sat in on a class with Alex Anderson.
It actually wasn't with Alex Anderson. It was the owner of R&K Distributing. And so, but Alex Anderson is the designer.
So that is when we had to make a beeline down to R&K Distributing, because they are now the distributors for Quilter Select rulers. I always love when I'm cutting fabric and people are watching me and that long ruler decides to go, and it's not for us. It always cuts their stuff off. And they're just looking at me like, mm-hmm. And so, of course, you have to straighten it back up. And then there's the ruler walk. You've got your ruler and you walk your hand up so it doesn't move. Quilter Select has a coating on it that you can see your fabric through it. It has all the markings that any other ruler. I've got a 45 degree, I've got 35 degree, I've got a 60 degree, or 30. I've got a 60 degree marking on here. It's not going to budge unless I physically pick it up and move it over. That coating holds it in place. They have just now, this of course is 6 by 24. They have small rulers. This week they sent us an 18 by 18 square. And I had a lady say, what are you going to do with that? I said, you're going to make big squares. But they are awesome. I love it. It does have the capability. It's not going to budge. They've come out with a rotary cutter. And at certain ages, you have to worry about your joints.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I have been accused by TSA of being Wonder Woman. or no, the bionic woman.
Bionic woman.
I told her I was not in the mood to jump any tall buildings that day. And the doctor says, well, you know, your shoulders are showing some wear and tear. And I'm saying, really? Anything else you can tell me? This
It's the knees.
particular rotary cutter has a lot of weight to it. And the reason it has weight to it is because it forces your arm to go forward down below instead of forward like this. So it is saving on the rotary cuff up here. It does take getting used to. In fact, we brought it back.
It's not a long curve.
Terry used it one day and goes, I don't like that. Within 3 days, she goes, I want one.
She bought one. Carried in.
So it
She's not a
does
quilter.
save. Yeah, she's not a quilter. And it's very simple to use. So you've got a button on the front. You start cutting. And I did put a new blade in. And of course it's open this way. Now it's closed. You need a bigger cut. People have said, well, why don't you have a 60 millimeter? You don't need a 60 millimeter. You just need to make it a little wider. And there's a switch on the back to make it a little wider cut. I used it to cut all my soft and stable for that last bag I made.
I watched the YouTube video, and it's also right-handed and left-handed without changing the blades.
It also,
Sweet.
yeah, and it also is really easy to change the blade because instead of having the screw, I take that screw off and I get it all off and I go, which side does it go back on? I don't know why. Every time I do that.
So you have a little, not switch, slide
Yeah.
at the back. You pull it down. This comes off. It's magnetic, so your blade is sticking to that magnet. You change your blade. It does have a little flat side.
Before you do it, I'm going to show them it sticks, see? So it's not going anywhere.
It's got a little flat side there, so you match your flat side up, put it back in, put the slide up, and you've changed your blade.
Does that blade last longer than a regular rotary blade?
You can use any rotary blade in this, but I'll tell you right now.
No. You know how you have to change out your rotary blades after so many
It
times?
lasts just a normal.
It
Well,
lasts about as long as the others.
Okay.
If you start nicking your rulers, no.
But so far, it's
Or you can-
actually
yeah.
a little more affordable. It's several dollars
Yes.
cheaper than Fisker and other blades, but we don't find it to be any less quality. So
They make mats. These are self-healing. You'll notice just as other mats, you've got your dark side, you've got your light side. But let me tell you, I'm going to pass this mat around. You're going to notice there's some weight here. And whatever they put in this mat, we have transported them in vehicles, and we've stood them up beside
here's the big one.
our
It's
cutting
like
stand,
it's hefty.
and they get a little bit warpy. You lay it down flat, and within 30 minutes, it flattens right out.
You know the blue one or the other ones. I've taken them in the car, and then if they get warped from the heat, there's no salvaging it. So no, this is the biggest so far. But and I took this one. I intentionally left it in my car to see because they said that it would go back. Then I took it in, laid it down, and it went right back flat again. So they say it would do it, and it did. And I tested it.